Testing. All right. You can cut out that other.
Hey, yo, hey. Yeah. Run it up, Blondo.
Hey, see y'all from Texas, where we should ride swangers and put diamonds in our neck.
Doc, you on mute.
Damn, I gotta start that whole damn introduction again. Anyway, it's your boy Doc Holiday. I got my man Troy White from Gather Old Man Podcast. This is another HBCU Tonight, powered by HBCU Overdrive. Make sure that you like the stream, comment, share. Most of all, subscribe to the channel, but mainly share, subscribe. Mainly subscribe, but comment too. It helps that algorithm out. But we got a good old show for you tonight. So what's going on in the baseball world?
Man. So this weekend was the Andre Dawson Classic. And, the Rattlers took a couple losses, took a bad one to Alabama State, and then took another one to that school in Daytona. But it's all right, though. Like Marlo said, y'all don't know my God like I know my God.
Mm-hmm.
And them beach cats in Daytona got beat by Yale in baseball. So, you take the small victories. You can't win everything. You just take the small victories. But seriously, though, it ain't just going to be Cookman and FAMU in baseball. It's definitely going to be 3 or 4 teams that will make SWAC baseball competitive. And it might be more, because we ain't really seen everybody against like competition. So once we see everybody against, similar competition, then we'll really know. But right now, where we are right now, it's at least 4 teams that are going to be a problem.
Well, I know Jackson State, we did win. We did win on this past weekend against Yale. Won the game 8-7. Then we took a loss to Grambling 8-7. That right there is that's a thorn in our side. But luckily, like we said, it doesn't count against SWAC standards conference because it's non-conference right now, and it's it's early in the season, so just gotta see what our pitching looks like. Like I said, we have a young team. We have a young team in Jackson. We should see what happens around. I give it around mid-March, mid to late March, early April, because that's when you will see everything. Like, to me, that's when you'll see everything ramp up. You'll see it ramp up. You'll see it. You'll see, you'll see how rotations are. You'll see how lineups are and everything, and just different matchups. Because baseball is, to me, baseball is a game. It's like a game of chess. That's what it is.
Yeah, I know. Like there was a few Rattlers that was concerned about Florida A&M this weekend, pitching wise. You got to realize you have pitchers that are on. Basically, these are rehab stints. So since we don't have a minor league, if you have players that were injured last year, use these early games to get them slowly back acclimated to the game.
Mm-hmm.
And Coach Troop told y'all that Granger got injured last year, so he was on a 75 pitch count. So if he on the pitch count, dang on well he ain't trying to throw no 90-mile-an-hour fastball. That's not happening. So we just everybody.
When you're on a pitch count, it's really not about throwing gas. It's really about just monitoring how many pitches that you throw. The less pitches you throw, meaning like if you can get ground outs, fly outs, and everything, is like that's less pitches.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I get somebody to swing at the first, if I can get somebody to swing at a first pitch, like say fastball, and I could get them to ground out, I could get them to fly out, or I even get, I could get them to swing at it, and they miss. I have done my job as far as making sure that the pitch count just stays low. So like if you're on a 75, if you're on 75 pitch count, meaning to me is like, hey, you need to keep the ball down. You need to keep it in. Because especially if it's a right-handed hitter, I want to keep it down and in. If it's a left-handed hitter, I want to keep it down and away. I'm just trying to make sure I got all that. I got that right.
No, I just you see little comments, and you're like, it's basically the first weekend of the season. Everybody relax. The people in Cookman, they ready to throw up another banner. Everybody just need to relax.
Mm-hmm.
We got a long way to go. That's a long way to go. But yeah, no, I was happy from what I saw in baseball, softball too. It's gonna be interesting. It's definitely gonna be interesting in baseball and softball. It's too early to predict winners. I hate doing early prediction because a few years ago everybody predicted what they predicted when was it? It was either FAMU or Jackson State. I can't remember. And Grambling ended up winning it all. So everybody relax.
You talking about that was baseball. That was
baseball. That was baseball.
That was 24.
Yeah, I think it was 24.
Yeah.
So everybody relax. It's gonna be fine. But I will, shout out to everybody that trash talk and elevate swag baseball on the internet, because it ain't like football where we know everybody gonna come out, everybody gonna watch. So the trash talk gives people a reason to watch, and it's another way to elevate the game. I'll do my best on my end to try and get players on and talk about player stories, but every little bit helps, because we got an Ivy League in the Andre Dawson Classic, and if people watching them, they watching us, and it helps. It all helps in the wash.
Well, I'll say this. It was a good weekend to watch baseball. It was an even better week to watch basketball. We'll get into that. Also, we had a full weekend with number sports. Had the Legacy Bowl, so we could get into, like I said, we could get into all of that in just a minute. But first and foremost, I want to talk about this. As y'all know, as y'all heard, early this morning, in New Albany, I think, in not, was it Minnesota? Or
Yeah.
okay, so New Albany, Minnesota.
No, it was no, not Minnesota. I think it was like Indiana.
Indiana. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Indiana. Okay, so he's in Indiana. They found the body of Rondell Moore, with a self-inflicted gunshot wound to his head, and only for him to be 25 years old. And this is after he had suffered an ACL injury this past season for the Vikings. So he was pretty much out for the season because he lost the season in 24 also with I don't know if it was the same ACL, but it was he had an ACL injury in 2024. He lost the season. This kid had a promising. I think he had a promising career if he was not injured. And a lot of the people who play the sport and just play sports, period. They were talking about, especially with, I think it was Shannon Sharp, Shannon and Ocho, and Joe Johnson on the nightcap.
Yeah.
And so they was talking about how a player can be when they are actually going through recovery and rehab, and to try to make sure they can get back out there on the field, or on the court, or on the diamond, whatever. And just to hear him have two ACL surgeries that ended his ACL injuries that ended his playing time in 2 years can take a toll on anybody. Not only is it, of course you got to go. I mean, of course you got to go through the surgery and everything, but to have to go through the rehab side of it is pretty much, that's already hard too. Because when you're an athlete, you want to get back. You want to try to get back out there as soon as possible. You feel like you Superman or Superwoman, and you just want to get out there, because it's like when you sitting still, your mind starts to play with you.
So, couple things before I get too deep in this. Fuck ESPN. All black people don't look alike. Y'all could have got the right picture. That's one. Two, Going through what I'm going through now, when your body does not want to do what you want it to do, that takes a mental toll. And you have to have a village to help you realize that one, your body can't define you.
Mm-hmm.
Sports cannot be the only thing that defines you.
Right.
Because we these kids have to live, only 1% make it to the league, if that.
Mm-hmm.
And so the ones who do make it, they have to believe in the impossible. And then when they achieve the impossible and then you take it away from them, you take away part of their identity. They go from, oh, I made it, to, oh man, I got to go back to. This is why education is important, because when people retire from the NFL, they're still young men.
Yeah.
So there has to be a second act, a third act to their life.
Yeah, because you would think about it, Jerry Rice was an anomaly. He cracked his kneecap and still kept playing for 6, 7 extra more years.
Mm-hmm.
Brett Favre, he retired twice, but he came back and he still played. But you see what's happening with him now is, he dementia, Parkinson's, and then when you look at somebody like that's divine Aaron Rodgers, because he's in his 40s, players like that, we're not gonna get those type of players anymore. Mm-hmm. Like even in basketball, understandably so. Once LeBron got to the Lakers, his body started breaking down, and that's my take. His body started breaking down, but for him to have the type of regiment, the what he eats, when he sleep, like what he put in his body, to like you think about it, playing this is 23rd year?
Yeah.
23. And we don't even know if he gonna play one more year. We don't know. He might say, look, I'm gonna hang it up. Vince Carter played 22 years. Dirk played 21. Kobe played 20. They knew when it was time for them, they knew when it was time for them to roll out, right?
Yeah.
But when you think about this, when your body say it's time to sit your tail down, it'll let you know. It will truly let you know. But for this kid right here, he was only 25 years old, and I feel like he was not ready to give the game up. But to have two season-ending injuries to your knees, like you said, what is it that you're gonna do afterwards? Like what is it that you're gonna do afterwards? Because like you said, like most of these players, when they, hell, Chris Paul just retired and he been in the league for 20 years.
Yeah, Chris has mapped out his second act. So we kind of got an idea of what his second act gonna look like. And the other thing we got to do, and again, like I am thankful for the tribe that I got because I got people that check on me. We got to normalize checking on your strong friends.
Yep.
You got friends going through stuff, and they've been there for everybody else, and nobody ever think that they need, just encouragement. People think, oh, if somebody going through something, they need money. No, they just need to know somebody want to know that they all right. And sometimes you ain't all right, but somebody checking on you to make sure you all right is important. Marlo asked me several times, like, you all right? I'd be like, yeah, I'm all right. He's like, no, what's really going on with you? And I'm like, I'm going through this. I tell y'all, tell everybody, my physical therapist is fake. But I need that to get to where I want to go.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's also incumbent upon us when people try to check up on you to not get defensive. Be honest with yourself so you can be honest with the people that worry about you.
Yeah.
It is okay for people to worry about you. It is not a sign of weakness.
I always say it like this. Me and my older sister, I'm the oldest, but I got a sister that's the oldest sister. So one time last year, I was called on the phone. I talked to her on the phone, and I had just vented like it's I don't feel right when I have to call. I call everybody, right? And just check. They're like, hey, what you doing? You all right? You cool? I'm just checking on you. Well, we got this. I don't want to know what you got, what's going on. I can call check on you. But my whole thing is, can you pick up the phone and call your big brother? They don't, you know what I'm saying? Everybody can be so busy throughout the day, right? Everybody could be so busy, but just can you pick up the phone and be like, I'm gonna call my brother? That I told him that's all I want. You ain't gotta come over to my house. I mean, if you want to, you can. I don't have no issue with it. But I just, just ring, what I'm saying? Just ring my line. Just make sure that I'm, what I'm saying? Just make sure I'm fine.
Yeah.
Because it ain't, to me, it's cool. Like, look, it's cool living by yourself. It's cool living by myself. But it ain't, it ain't easy to live by yourself.
No.
It could, like, if you're an introvert, then it's easy. You do not, you don't care if nobody come to your house anyway. You know what I'm saying? If you are an introvert or you're a recluse, you don't care about nobody coming to see you. But it, like, with me, like, I tell folks, look, I'm an introvert, but I got extroverted tendencies. I got a time to where I can be to myself and I don't have no issue with it. But then there are times where I need to be, you know what I'm saying? I need to be around people.
Yeah.
And so I always tell I told my sister, it's like, it's nothing. There's no issue with what I'm saying. But all I'm just saying is call, I'm just call your brother. Call me. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you ain't busy, if you're not busy, I ain't busy, you can, like I said, you can swing by. You can swing by and come visit. I have no issue, like I said, I have no issue with that. It's just that when I look at it, it's like, when in my mind, like, damn, do my sister even care about me? And I shouldn't have to think like that. And nobody should have to think like that.
Mm-hmm.
Even if we don't get along, even if we, as siblings or as family, we don't get along. I mean, just still check on me.
I think and as
Come
I
on,
get older,
checking on you, crook. What's up?
as I get older, I know it's better than my dad's generation. And I got hope that for Ash's generation it'll be even better. But,
Mm-hmm.
you know, as a parent, this is a child of me. I got a kid who's right around his age. Right.
Same with me.
So the parents should never have to bury a child. Especially with something that's preventable.
Mm-hmm.
And we have to normalize talking about mental health, talking about the things that we don't want to talk about. The Black family is the most secretive. And I don't have no experience with nobody else's culture. So I'm just talking about my experience. We are so secretive about how we're dealing with our mental health because of image. Fuck your image. Are you okay? We can worry about your image some other time.
Mm-hmm.
I need to know you're going to be okay and you're not going to hurt yourself. After we got all of that other stuff out of the way, then we can worry about some little image.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, your creator don't care about your image. So that don't mean nothing. Just we want our kids to be okay.
Yeah, as a like when my oldest daughter went her driving trucks, and she got to go to other states and everything. Yeah, I worry about it. Sure, I worry about it every day. You know, um, also just just looking at it is that um I feel like the NFL needs to do a better job when it comes to mental health. They need to do a better job. They have been the past couple of months, the past I'm gonna say 6 months, have been real shitty to these athletes because the NFL is not equipping these players, these young men, when they come into the league about mental health.
They need to do the same thing as if somebody had a heart attack on the field. If a player has a serious injury, your mental health team need to activate.
Mm-hmm.
They need to be, hey, are you okay? Here's some resources that we want you to do. After you do your physical rehab, you're going to do this mental rehab.
Yep.
Or before you do that physical rehab, you're going to do this mental rehab. At the very least, just to check and see where you are. And I'm all right ain't going to be good enough answers. The same way y'all go through the test to see if they can get back on the field from a concussion protocol, there needs to be a mental health protocol. Now, you can't do nothing until we get upstairs straight. And let's just forget let's put aside just the human element of it. These athletes are an investment from ownership.
Mm-hmm.
And if you are allowing your investments to die, at some point it's going to become mission critical. Because contrary to popular belief, you just can't keep replacing NFL caliber players.
But that's the thing, though. That's the thing that management that the management sees with these athletes. Okay, well, he, you know what I'm saying? He gone for the year. I might have to cut him. Because I need to bring somebody else in. Why would you cut somebody? Right? Why would you cut somebody? And I understand, you got to understand the mathematics and everything. But do you tell these folks, like, there's a chance I might have to let you go to bring somebody else in as your replacement? If we
You know what?
this
You right.
in a certain position.
You right. I said that wrong. It's on the Players Association. Because they getting dues to keep feeding that Players Association engine. It's on the Players Association to make sure their membership is okay.
At the end of the day, we don't know what was going through this young man's mind. All we know is he had 2 years of the same injury that was season ending, and he felt like he did not have nobody around him. Nobody didn't come to him and ask him how he was doing, how he feeling. He felt like he didn't have no help from the league, the Players Association, or the organization, the football organization, which would be the Minnesota Vikings, because that's his last team.
Yeah. And what, he's 25? Did he even make? I don't even think he would. They get vested in what, 5 years?
You invested 5 years in 10 years. What was the 10 years? You draw your pension. Well, no, he can draw his pension.
Pension in 5, yeah.
5.
Man. I'm sorry. I love watching football, but I would do my best to push my child in a different direction until they can get some stuff straightened out. Because I know this is a tangent, but we are in the year 2026 of our Lord.
Mm-hmm.
The NFL just now start getting guaranteed contracts, and they don't want to do that. And based on
getting guaranteed contracts, I think the agents and the players found the loophole to make sure that part of their contracts are guaranteed.
Yeah. So it's the America's pastime. I don't care what people that love baseball say. America's pastime is football. Well, no, I take that back. Football is the religion.
America's pastime is always going to be baseball.
Yeah.
But football is always going to be the religion.
Yeah.
Especially here in the South. I already know football is a religion here in the South.
So they got to do better. And I know a lot of people are going to say, well, what does this young man's death have to do with the NFL? Because we just watched a podcast where Warren Sapp said he was on his way to an office, and on his way, he got lost. He just went blank. He's not writing stuff on Post-it notes. We got to take better care of this sport. It is getting better, yes, with the little dome helmets and all the new safety precautions. It is getting better. But it took us so long to realize we had a problem. You know, and right now we're shocked because this young man is 25 and he was effectively still in the league. But we think about all the people who have retired from football, who have done harm to themselves because of the injuries. This is an indictment on the NFL. They got to do better.
Well, we'll be right back, and we'll get into the Legacy Bowl and some basketball. Be right back. It's your boy Doc Holliday. Become a subscriber on HBCU Overdrive on YouTube, and you can follow me on all social media platforms at HBCU_Overdrive on Twitter and Instagram. You can catch me on TikTok at Holiday1925 and on Facebook under my real name, David E. Smith Douglas. Also, when you become an exclusive family member, you get all the membership perks. You get all the exclusive members only videos, early access to new videos, member shout outs, and members only live chats. And also you can get birthday shout outs on here and win member when you become a subscriber. You can also hit the donation to the Cash App at HBCU Overdrive. You can hit the PayPal David Smith 1925, and you can hit the Zelle David E. Smith 30 at gmail.com. Remember, all proceeds go towards the channel, not the pocket. All right, we back, y'all. So we got HBCU Legacy Bowl that was yesterday from Ullman Stadium in New Orleans on the campus of Tulane University. Team Gaither defeated Team Robinson 27-23. Team Gaither, which was coached by Berry from South Carolina State, and yours truly, Quinn Gray, when he was at Albany State. But now is the head coach at FAMU. And on Team Robinson, the team was coached by Tremaine Jackson from Prairie View. And wait a minute, I got that backwards.
What about to say? I think it's the other way.
Tremaine Jackson and Quinn Gray, because Team Robinson is the SIAC and the SWAC, and Team Gaither is the MEAC and the CIAA. I think in the CIAA was it Maurice Flowers? Have to see. Anyway, Berry got the best of Tremaine Jackson again in less than what? That was what? In less than 2 months, 2.5 months.
Yeah.
I know that Curtis Allen didn't play in the game. He's nursing. I think he was nursing a lower leg injury. Of course, of course, Jacoby and Morgan didn't play in the game. Okay, so Maurice Flowers from John C. Smith. Jacoby and Morgan didn't play in the game. Even though he was selected, but he was still nursing his foot injury. He's getting himself ready for the draft. My thoughts of what I saw yesterday. It was a Caleb Donovan from Morehouse, the cornerback from Morehouse. He just made him some money. He just made himself some money yesterday.
He got the pick 6, right? Was that him? Okay, yeah. And I got to go back and watch some more of that game because this weekend was a busy weekend. And I think the A&T kid was had a pretty good outing too.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, he earned him some money. He earned some money yesterday. I was gonna say some other players that feel like they earned a spot to either hear their name get drafted, or of course they're gonna be undrafted free agents. One is Quincy Ivory. You got to see him play a little bit more on the defensive line with his hand in the ground, compared to what he was, in the defensive scheme for Jackson State, with standing up. Winston-Salem State running back Jaquan Kelly, and South Carolina State defensive lineman Michael Lutz. They won offensive and defensive MVP for the game. Trying to read up on it. So this said the game was more of an offensive showcase than the previous Legacy Bowl, where the teams combined for 50 points and had over 619 yards in the game on both sides.
That's coaching. Look who's coaching the games. Look who's when I saw Quinn was gonna be in there, I was like, yeah, this ain't gonna be no defensive showcase. I already knew.
So you saw the team, you saw the ball get thrown down the field a little bit more. And
I know I'll be beating that dead horse, but that's what we need. Not just in the bowl season, but in the regular season. The NFL need to see us make explosive plays. They like from us the eye candy. We got to win too. But when we put the most in the league is when we provide the most eye candy. And hell, still half of that is defense.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'll be honest with you, Mr. Emmett. I don't think Gerard Washington will be that between the 4th and the 7th round. I'm looking at between round 6 and 7, even though he does have the measurables. I'm looking at round 6 or 7 because they just know what they want.
Walker Harris. How did he do?
He did all right. He did all right in the game. He did all right in the game. I just need to pull up stats on this. He said Walker looked scared. I mean, well, they ain't played, they ain't played since what? Late November. So they ain't played till late November. But I think it's someday. I mean, I'm not gonna down it, but it's still to be in his fifth, year. To be in his 5th year, it was to me, I think it was still it was still a success. So not gonna say too much anything about it though.
Yeah. Side note, I've had it with Mike Brown. This New York Knicks team looks terrible on defense.
We just acknowledge that, that your team is still up there in first place, and my team sucks.
Who in first? What are you talking about?
Ain't y'all in the top of y'all division?
No, we're like 3. We behind the Celtics and the Pistons, who we ain't beat all season. This dude really just turned his back after he shot a 3. Oh my. Losing to Billy Donovan is crazy. Also, who is number 4 for Philadelphia? He got braids in his head, but he also got a big old patch in the middle. Like, where your girlfriend at? Y'all need to have some conversations. My wife said I can't get no dread wig. You definitely can't have no braids in the bald spot. That's crazy.
Is that is it Jeremy Sohan?
It might be, yeah. It might be him.
Because he's the only one that do that goofy ass shit.
I thought it was, how sometimes the camera looked different, and I thought it was gray hair. I was like, all right, he got a gray spot, all right. And then when they like zoomed in on his face, I'm like, that's a big old bald spot. All right. And everybody can't have hair. I'm not picking at him. I'm just saying, sometimes even me, I had to let my dreams and hopes of dreads go away because I'm at a different age in my life, a different stage in my life where my hair don't grow like that no more. So
Well, well, we should see. I mean, it was a good showing yesterday for the Lake. So, in the Winter Olympics, I think Winter Olympics was the last day. Today was close. I think today's close ceremonies. Team USA won gold in hockey for the first time in 46 years.
man, F Drake, USA, USA.
Since the Miracle on Ice.
It was a little bit of like I watched it, right? Because I went to sleep on time and got up and watched it. There was a little bit of controversy. Extra man on the ice during the shift change. During shift change, if there's an extra man on ice, as long as there's no advantage, they usually let that slide. Because you usually have a bunch of people coming on and off the ice. So in a way, if you've ever watched hockey, the way they do a shift change is they're usually not advancing the puck offensively to score a goal. So there's no advantage, right? And that's what happened. There was no advantage. After the shift change, the USA scored a goal. Secondly, in the third period, Canada had 14 shots on goal and couldn't score. I don't want to hear it. These ain't college players. These ain't semi-pro players. These are NHL players. The Canadian NHL players have 14 shots on goal. You had Connor Bedard on that team. He the next greatest in the NHL. You couldn't get it done because the USA was just better. It just be like that sometimes. Sometimes it's just not your night. And the day was not your day. And it just wasn't their day. So, but and the USA was a tougher team anyway. They was the only team in the Olympics that started a fight. So shout out to them to setting the tone. Like we ain't finna lay down no more. So shout out to them.
We're gonna square up these niggas right here.
I'm leaving with something.
He said we gonna square up with these niggas. They get it.
Yeah, so
the Lakers are losing to the Celtics right now by 22. With like 3 minutes left in the game.
So ain't nobody gonna say it out loud. LeBron need to retire this year. Like whatever people that believes he was the GOAT, there are less and less every day.
I don't even think it's LeBron.
As for me, it's Jordan, and I'm not a Jordan. Like people think, oh, you're a Jordan fan. I'm not a Jordan fan like that. When Jordan continuously destroy your favorite players, you got to start going, okay, maybe he is like that. So, but yeah, no, it's looking bad, and it's too many players on that Laker team that don't play defense. LeBron don't play defense. Luka don't play defense. The Yacht Boys don't play defense. Like, don't nobody play defense. Everybody want to score. Nobody don't want to stop nobody. And DeAndre Ayton, did y'all even know he was still on that team?
I think they know.
So,
yeah, I wasn't a Michael Jordan fan either back when I was growing up. Hey, I just like shoes because then shit was comfortable on my feet.
Mr. Hunt, my favorite player growing up, and I kind of transitioned. So my favorite player growing up was Alex English. That man game was just silky smooth. And then I went from Alex English to I wasn't a Indianapolis fan, Indiana fan. I was a Reggie Miller fan because he was just a different type of villain. And then that transitioned to Carmelo. And like right now, I don't really have a favorite player. I thought it was gonna be your boy in Minnesota, but I take care of my kids and love all my kids, so I can't be a fan of his.
Yeah, do that. I take care of my kids.
Kobe was cool too, Crook, but when you grow up seeing Jordan, it's just like I wanted to see something different. And then also like the type of players that I like are like the way I played in the playground. And so I couldn't play like Reggie. I couldn't shoot like Reggie. Never could shoot like Reggie. But like Alex English in the mid range, oh my God. I used to go to the court, playground, and be like, yeah, you finna get these twos. If I can't get to the bucket, yeah, I'm finna give you this mid range and we're gonna go back down court. So that's why I like the players that I like. Speaking of, did you see the thing that I sent you about Syracuse?
I didn't even read it. Now what's up with that? Let's talk about
So when Carmelo got drafted, he donated $3 million so they can get or when he got into the league at some point, he donated $3 million to Syracuse for their training facility.
Yeah, I remember he did that.
Just recently, a booster donated money and was going to remove Carmelo's name off of the training facility. But I guess Melo people caught wind of it, was like bullshit. So they moved Melo name down, made the font smaller, and put some booster name ahead of his name. So it's like
the booster didn't do nothing.
The booster trading facility, and then Carmelo Anthony Athletic Center or whatever, right? And I'm just like,
because the last time I checked, 23 years ago, Carmelo led Syracuse to the national championship.
So
that booster didn't do shit.
And here is where sometimes I get myself in trouble, but I'm just gonna say it, right? Anybody that's like followed me long enough know the exact moment when I stopped being, and I'm still Florida State rah. But you won't hear me talk about Florida State football like I did 6 years ago, right? Because it was a booster situation that made it untenable, and turns out the booster ended up being the athletic director. But you have a white booster who is being given credit for something he didn't build. He could have donated a science facility. He could have did anything. $11 million. He could have. I think that's what they said. $11 million. He could have created the football could have had a new facility, whatever. That's your most famous basketball alum in recent memory. And you got his kid on the team. Like,
I heard they doing Cayenne. They doing Cayenne kind of dirty over there in Syracuse.
Yeah.
Because they was like, well, your daddy Carmelo, yeah, my daddy Carmelo, but I call him for advice. I don't call him to tell them to let me go out there, to complain to y'all so I could go out there and play.
Yeah.
I call him for advice.
And
you can see he raised right. He got both, even though they divorced, he got both his mama, Lala, and his daddy. So it's not like, you know what I'm saying? It's not like he ain't got no.
But it's so like there's so much going on with that program. You got coaches problems. You got it's a lot going on with that program. Oh, crook. James stole them crab legs. Like we not gonna play them games. He straight up stole them crab legs. Now I've said several times in Tallahassee, you get quote unquote hookups, right? And I'm not saying this is right or wrong. I'm just telling you the real, right? When I was in school, we used to get hookups from people who worked at Dillard's, which made it crazy when Peter Ward got suspended because we was like, all us got them hookups. So things happen, and you do it in a way so nobody gets in trouble and nobody get caught. If you Jameis Winston, you can't grab some crab legs and walk out to Publix. Like you can't do that. Everybody see you. Everybody know you. And contrary to popular belief, it's more than just students that be at that Publix, that be in that area. Like there are professional people that live in that area. Tallahassee is a full blown town. So when you walk out of Publix, Susie Homemaker gonna be like, I didn't get my stuff for free. Why he get his stuff for free? So yeah, Jameis did that. But you cannot have alums trying to make their non-athletic profile bigger than the actual athletes that played in the program.
Mm-hmm.
You can't do that. There are other ways that they could have handled that, and they handled it poorly.
What you gonna do? He gonna try to take Jim Behar's name off the court next?
Listen, do you know how many chairs will be flipped if they try to do that? They would, man.
I still call it the Carrier Dome. The Carrier Dome, they'll flip that bitch upside down.
You better donate a library or something. You better donate a library.
And somebody football booster here, he said, I don't want Don McPherson's jersey up in the Raptors.
All right.
Or Rob Conrad's, or Ernie Davis, or even Jim Brown. They'll burn it down.
Mr. Jones, let me say this, right? At that particular time, there was a group of people who got their hands slapped because they kept trying to give free stuff to players. We had been in trouble enough for different things that like the program wasn't playing no more. And that's how that happened. So
sure would.
Hey, it don't matter if he was walking out of there for a whole year. Some shit you should be doing. Like, I don't know what the statute of limitation is, but every once in a while we used to get free meat from Publix. It just happened. But when the program say enough is enough,
sit your black ass down somewhere.
For real. And then he was, listen, as a former college habitual line stepper, Jameis was a habitual line stepper.
Over and over and over and over again.
Like you get in trouble, and then as soon as you get out of trouble, you get in the middle of the student union and holler about grabbing by the pussy or some shit. Come on, dog. What are we doing? This the same school that tell you in orientation about what is sexual assault and what is not.
Well, they didn't say that at Baylor, so.
You know what? Y'all better be glad none of my children went to Baylor with some of that foolishness. I would have been sitting in Texas. I would just be getting out of Texas jail right now. But some of that was just egregious.
Anyway, man, let's go ahead and talk about this. and I was surprised about this.
Man, I'm proud of them boys. I'm like,
Mississippi Valley got their second win of the season, their first win in conference, and actually their first Division I win.
man, they could have quit. They could have quit, and I'm like legit like psyched for them because they could have packed it in. The season almost over, and they kept fighting, and it went down to the wire too.
Michael James I think Michael James stole the inbound pass and put it up with like 1.2. I think it was like 1.2 seconds left on the clock. Put them up by one. I said, here's the thing. The last couple of games I have watched Valley, they have been a thorn in a whole bunch of people's side. Like, seriously.
Yeah, they've been fighting.
They were a thorn in both sides. And the issue with Valley is that they get up in the games early in the first half, and then in the second half, they run out of gas. Michael James played all 40 minutes. He played the whole game. 24 points, 2 rebounds, 4 assists, 8-19 from the field, 2-9 for 3-point land. They had 4 players scoring double figures. And they kept the pressure on Texas Southern the whole game.
Mm-hmm.
Even when they were down by a certain amount of points, they kept pressure on TSU the whole game. At one point in time, I'm looking at it, Valley was up by at least 7 to 8 points.
Mm-hmm. No, but you know what this means, right? You know we got a pissed off Johnny Jones going into the tournament. I don't know how I feel about that.
Well, they out-rebounded Valley by 5. I mean, rebounded the Tigers by 5. They had 6 more assists, 6 steals. They had more turnovers than Texas Southern, but off of Texas Southern turnovers, they generated 16 points off of those turnovers, off of the 11 turnovers. They had 17 fast break points. They had 30 points in the paint. Largest lead was 8.
All them stats is I want it more than you. That's what all them stats say.
They both shot the ball. I mean, he shot the ball well, close to 50% in the game.
Yeah, say that he sounded funny.
The last time Valley won was when we had the young announcers 2 years ago. Well, a year and a half ago. Well, they won their first game. Remember, they was 0 for 20-something, and they won their first game. But you see the enthusiasm, though, because everybody, they was up. They felt like they was on top of the world. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Even though yes, it's Johnny Jones, it's the Texas. They call it the Texas Southern Invitational for nothing. I don't think this is the same type of team that I see right now from Texas Southern. I don't think this is the same type of team. I don't think they can get past a Southern, even though they did beat Southern last week. I don't think they get past an Alabama A&M, and I definitely don't think they'll get past a Bethune-Cookman. And to be honest with you, I don't even think they'll get past a Pine Bluff. Pine Bluff has been playing real good basketball.
Bethune-Cookman got to figure out their defense if Dr. Bradley not going to play. Bethune-Cookman looks very good, but with Dr. Bradley in that lineup, they are a different team.
Well, if he don't come back, I still think they'll win the whole conference, and I still think they'll win the tournament. I don't see anything like they've been good with him before he even came back. They still good with him now.
Yeah, they had a couple of losses though that were bad losses. Those couple of losses was bad losses. Those were not expected losses. Because, I don't say a whole bunch of good stuff about them because every time I do something bad happen. And I'm like adding Joe Lenardi on Twitter. And that same day they lost. I forget who they lost to. That was the first of 2 losses when I was talking shit to Joe Lenardi on Twitter about the SWAC team being in the tournament. And I was talking about Bethune-Cookman. But and to be honest with you, I don't want to see Cookman without Dr. Bradley. Now, do I want FAMU to beat him? Yes, I want FAMU to beat him. But being a SWAC fan for a minute, a full Bethune-Cookman squad is a possible 2-win tournament team unless they draw the freaking number 1 seed.
They always gonna draw the number 1 seed. They ain't gonna draw.
Which is some more BS and all this talk about expanding the tournament. If the SWAC don't get a automatic in-tournament seed, in other words, not no first 4 win crap.
That's not gonna happen.
Oh, of course not.
It's not gonna happen. I'm gonna be honest with you. They're not gonna
because of the tournament money.
Even if you get a in the tournament, like you don't have to play the first 4 the first 4 game, you still are going to be drawing the number 1 seed. I would rather play the first 4 than to get drawn on the number 1 seed automatic, off top. I would rather win the game in the first 4, give me some money, go into the next round, and try to see if I can beat whatever team that comes in, that's in my way.
Oh, I know. But the further you get in the tournament, the more money you get. And that's my thing. If they don't get a playing game, if they skip the playing game and they win a game in the regular tournament, not the first 4, but in the regular tournament, that payout money go up. And that benefits everybody in the conference. And then if they get 2 wins in the tournament, so it'll be the round of 32. If they get around the 32, first off, they're going to take my Twitter account. Even though it's Cookman or whoever, they're going to take my Twitter account. Because y'all know how I feel about HBCUs in the tournament. That's a whole
I'm just gonna be honest with you. If Cookman win the conference tournament, and they get the first 4 in play in, I'd rather for them to do that than to see who they actually would draw. Yeah, and it pays the same amount as the first round game because it is considered a first round game.
First round game, yeah. That's what I'm saying. That round of 32. Oh yeah. Now we're talking money.
That's what I'm saying. I don't want to play. I will if I'm a team coming from the SWAT or the MEAC or let's just say the OVC, the big, like I guess the Big South, any type of conference like that where we always put, or even the Northeast Conference, where they always pull us from those conferences because we are the weaker conferences. Really, remember to play in the first bowl, to play in the play-in game, then to be drawn the actual full first round game, right?
Yeah.
By and just go up against somebody and be like, you know what, we just gonna get our head beat in. I'm like, I want to win.
Yeah. Mr. Lawrence, I will crash all the way out if they put a SWAC versus Tennessee State or MEAC versus Tennessee State in the tournament game. I will crash all the way out because you don't have to do that. And the only reason you do that is I might be a conspiracy theorist. Maybe you could it could be great from a television perspective, but from a business perspective, let them play against somebody else.
Well, Tennessee State is playing good, is the first bowl team. Yeah, they playing good though.
Yeah. I think they might win the OVC, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I thought it was $2 million for 3 years. Yeah, if it's $2 million for 5 years. If it's $2 million for 5 years, Houston need to stop crying broke.
Who needs to stop crying broke?
Houston basketball coach. Talking about they ain't got no money. What he meant to say was they ain't got no NIL money like everybody else do. But he ain't got to because everybody that go to Houston that play well, they end up in the league. So
well, I don't know. I really don't know what to say, man. All I know is that All I know is, man, it is something gonna happen in the tournament.
Yeah, and I'm gonna make it my business to be there. I ain't gonna be there the whole week. I'm probably gonna be there from Thursday to Sunday, but I'm making my business to be there.
He said the payout is for 6 years. SWAC is getting $18 million this season. If they win 2 games, they'll be at $20 million in payout next season. Oh, he said if they win the first game.
Yeah.
I think SWAC school, I think whoever the represents the school, they keep a good chunk of money.
I think the school get $1 million out of $1 million a year out of each payout, if I'm not mistaken, and then the rest is split through conference.
Ain't no bad. It's not bad though. And now on the women's side, shoot, they gonna get paid, right?
Yeah.
And they have a first. Don't they have a first? Don't they have a play in too?
Yeah, they get a play in.
So yeah. Now let's go ahead and talk about. Before we get into that, all the games from this past weekend on the men's side. Pine Bluff defeats Prairie View 84-82. Of course, Valley defeats Texas Southern 72-71. Grambling loses to Southern 87-73. FAMU defeats Alabama State 76-63. And we'll talk about Jackson and Alcorn in a minute. On the women's side, we got Alabama State beating FAMU 62-59. That was a close one. Mississippi Valley defeats Texas Southern on the women's side 78-64. Is Coach Skeet in trouble? Pine Bluff women defeats Prairie View 81-56. Southern defeats Grambling 59-45. Alabama A&M takes care of Bethune 55-43. And down in Lorman, Jackson State defeats Alcorn 52-49 in overtime. Jaleel Cotton was the leading scorer and leading rebounder for the Lady Tigers. 14 points, 15 rebounds, 3 assists in the game. She is a problem. She is a problem. Also had 2 steals and a block. She's going to be a problem. And y'all don't worry about the picture. I did this through Chat GPT. So don't blame me. Michaela Brown also had 11 points. She had 11 points and 3 rebounds. And Pierre Noel Tachoa had 10 points, 11 rebounds. Woo.
Well, a couple things.
Yeah.
At least your crowd black. Because when I do it, my crowd be white.
Oh my goodness. See, that's when we need to get Mr. Lawrence on here because he can break down all the numbers.
Yeah.
The kid Cheatham, she had a game yesterday. Had 19 for Alcorn, 19 points, 13 rebounds, 1 assist, but she also had 6 turnovers, two assists, and 1 block. So she had a ball game herself yesterday. She's the only player for Alcorn that was in double figures. So, that's the women's the bench. The bench is still like I think Coach Richards is playing with a 3-man rotation off the bench. Ooh, dang. See what Jamal just put in group chat?
Yeah, I just saw it.
With this win against Alcorn for the women, it moves them up at 500 in the conference at 7-7. 2-game winning streak right now, but it moves them into 6th place right now. And also with the loss for Alcorn, and the win for Alabama A&M, this gives Coach Dawn a share of the conference title right now for the regular season. They have they don't play Alabama A&M don't play again till Saturday on 28th against Alabama State, and then the last 2 games against Grambling and against Southern, they have a chance to win. They have a chance to match the win total from last season with 21 to finish out the last 3 games of the year. And depending on how they do in the tournament, if they win the whole tournament, this will give them a chance to win, like, I think 24 games, which Alabama A&M has never done on the women's side.
All I know is when is Coach Thornton contract up?
Not no time soon.
I'm asking for a friend.
No time soon. Fairview has lost 20 in a row.
They got an opportunity. They got an opportunity to right the ship. If the men at Valley can get a win, they can get a win.
Nah, they can't get no win.
They just need one.
Nah, they got a lot of problems at Prairie View on the women's side. So you got Alcorn sitting at 11-3. You got Alabama State sitting at 11-4, and then Southern sitting at 10-4. But because I think they Alabama and it has defeated Alcorn. They did beat them. I think they beat them twice.
They'll get a tie break if it's a tie.
If it's a tie, they get the tiebreaker. They they destroyed Alcorn the first time around. And they only played them one time. So it don't even matter. And then with Alabama State, they won against Alabama State earlier. So it don't even matter because then they can win out. They win regular season. All they need is Alabama A&M needs one more win. They need to win on Saturday, and they clinch the regular season. No matter if they lose the last two games of the season, and I don't see that happening.
No, I think Alabama A&M roll to the conference, and then I don't really, again, anything can happen in the tournament, but I don't really see anybody beating them in the tournament as of right now.
I think the only school that's closest to them that might actually can get with them in the tournament would probably be
I thought it was going to be Southern.
I think it'll be Southern. You can say Alcorn, but Alcorn, they can't generate a lot of offense. You saw that yesterday in the game. Well, let's get to this one right here. Let's get to this one. Jet State men's basketball destroyed. Yes, y'all see it. Destroyed by Alcorn.
I mean, sometimes you're the car, sometimes you're the windshield, sometimes you're the net. It happens.
So let's be real. Let's be real. Deshaun, we go as Deshaun goes. I'm gonna tell you like this, like David Ruffin and the Temptations, is Deshaun Ruffin and the JSU Tigers. We go as he goes.
I'm trying to you gotta forgive me, right? Because I've suffered through multiple games where my team has not scored for 10 minutes at a time. Multiple games. Y'all have a bad game. There's no reason to crash out. Them 3 fouls early will affect the game.
It affected the game.
Oh my God, Jalen Brunson need to be benched. But that's that's gonna happen from time to time. You just don't want it to happen during a tournament. And then on top of that, he's a scorer. He's undersized, and there's gonna be games where you can't. He's putting a lot of minutes in. He's putting a lot of usage in. That's gonna weigh on his body sometimes. So the other players have got to help him out, give him a break, and give him some spell. He shouldn't feel like it's always on him.
Mm-hmm.
That shouldn't be a thing. Very talented kid. I like his game. Um, but I think the
It's gonna
way,
weigh on.
yeah, it's gonna weigh on it, and the way this season has gone, there are a lot of teams who, for some strange unknown reason, like have crazy losses. So you want to be concerned defensively, which giving the 80 points ain't terrible. You just want to do a better job um, getting help from the other team players.
Well,
Wow. Another Viking just passed. But still all right. Still all right. And as much as we talked about, this team could win the tournament and all this stuff, it's really 4 or 5 teams that can win the tournament.
hold on. You said another person passed.
Yeah, Ronell Whitaker. And she turned the light on. You know what?
Hmm.
Yeah, he was born in 1976.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't remember him. I have to look him up.
Uh-oh. Boy, Maxie dunked on Ant-Man.
I mean, and I wasn't being funny. I believe role models should be role models. I want OG Ananobi to be better.
Well, um, Deshaun Ruff had 21 points, 3 assists, but he also had 7 turnovers in this game. Also, you're looking at DeAndre Thomas, I think it's DeAndre Thomas had 14 points and 5 rebounds, and Jamie Mitchell Jr. had 13 and 5. And Jalen Tatum had 10 points and 3 rebounds and 3 assists. Tamarian Hoover only had 1 point, but he also had 8 rebounds. And Dorian McMillan had 2 points and 5. He had 5 rebounds. I think he went out of the game, and he was never the same when he after coming back in. Tyson McDaniels, forward for Alcorn, number 8, was a terror last night. 25 points and 14 rebounds. Also with Jamil Morris, point guard, 22 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. And Mr. Lancaster had 11 points in the game, 11 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists in this game. Both teams shot horribly from 3-point range, but what I talked about with some of my friends yesterday was the fact that Jackson State had committed 18 total turnovers, and Alcorn converted those turnovers into 29 points. They also had 17 fast break points to 4 from Jackson State. They out-rebounded Jackson State 41-34 with 16 of those rebounds offensive rebounds. They got to the line more in the game, 38 times in the game compared to Jackson State's 26. And the largest lead that they did held was 20, where Jackson State's largest lead was 10, and that was early in the game. Once the game I'm gonna be honest with you. I will be honest with you, and y'all say if I'm right or not. Once the coach for Alcorn got kicked out the game, all the momentum shifted over to them. If I'm lying, I'm flying.
But that's usually how it is. Usually because your adrenaline is pumping, they done kick down coach out, they trying to cheat us, and then they play harder. There have been coaches through the history of time who probably 2-3 times a season would get kicked out on purpose and then blame the refs. And one of them in the sweat.
But once he got kicked out that game, you seen the whole you seen them try to ease so much, and just table just flip. But yeah, that's what happened in the tournament. That's not tournament, but that's what happened yesterday. Let's go ahead and see where we're at in the conference on the men's side. While we head down this final stretch. Bethune-Cookman is 12-3. And even I'm gonna be honest with you, even if Bethune-Cookman lose their last 3, nobody still ain't gonna catch them. They have a game on Thursday against Grambling. They play Southern on Saturday. and then on the next Thursday they play FAMU in Tallahassee.
Who is that the last game of the season?
That last game of the season.
So it's the last game of the season, right? But if I'm having a rivalry game on a Thursday, it's leaving money on the table. Especially after the first matchup. That was
you
a close.
the tournament starts on the tournament starts following Monday.
Okay. And FAMU needs to win. They need to win Monday. The Monday game?
Let me see. They play Thursday. They play
Thursday.
Southern. They play Southern Grambling, and they just flip. I mean, because they in fact they are on the they on the Louisiana swing right now.
So I got to figure out a way to get down to Grambling. I got to get to that gas station. But we got to get in the fifth. We got to get in the fifth place to get that double bye. But yeah, the last game FAMU played, they shot the ball early with authority. They're just gonna have to do that. Like, I have come to terms with the fact that they're going to turn the ball over. But the big man is back. That helps. And they're shooting threes again. Like, you gotta let that thing go. If you don't like Sanders, when he's hitting, I don't like him shooting from the parking lot. But he plays better when he can hit from the parking lot. I've never seen nothing like this in my life. He could be an average player, but if he hit from the parking lot, he is a very different player. And it makes no sense to me. Not once he has his confidence, he just 3 steps from half court and he just launch it. And in my brain, it should not go in. This should not be an okay shot by Charlie Ward, who played basketball in the 90s. But it goes in.
Well, FAMU has Southern Bethune. Southern has FAMU, Bethune, the last 2 games against Alabama State and Alabama A&M, because I think those are the games they have to make up from the weather. Jackson State, same thing. Prairie View, Thursday, Texas Southern next Saturday, and then they have Pine Bluff and end the season on a Thursday against Valley.
Yeah.
I think Jackson State can actually beat Prairie View. I think they can hang with Texas Southern. Pine Bluff gives me the heebie-jeebies. And if we go out there and lay a shit bird against Valley, I don't know what to say.
Valley coming to play. Like, they don't care what y'all coming to do. Valley coming to play.
That is true. That is true. But Bethune-Cookman sitting at 12-3, Southern sitting at 9-5, Alabama A&M 9-6 with Pine Bluff, so they're tied. Jackson State 8-6, Texas Southern and FAMU tied at 8-7. Alcorn sitting at 6-8. Alabama State and Prairie View sitting at 6-9, Grambling at 5-8, and then Valley with their first conference win. Their first conference win of the season. 4 games in 7 days, bro. They do that in the NBA. What we talking about?
Yeah, no, if they was in the tournament, it'll be that way in the tournament.
The tournament gonna be the same way too, man. Let's forget that. That's nothing.
My God, Carl Anthony Towns just traveled.
That's playing AAU basketball. The Lakers unveiled statue of Pat Riley wearing an Armani suit. Oh Lord.
Man, Patrick Ewing should have a statue in New York, LA, and Miami.
Newly discovered T206 Honus Wagner authentic baseball card sells for over $5 million.
We gotta start collecting baseball cards again, guys. We gotta start. Hey, did you see this track championship standings?
The track?
Yeah, I know who won the women. I can't remember who won men.
I ain't see it.
I know FAMU won the women indoor. They was gonna win anyway. They had a good lead going at the end of yesterday. Give me a second. It might kick me off. Give me a second. Let me pop in here and check the mentions.
Oh my goodness, my spine is kicking my butt. Four games in 7 days is nothing, EA. That should be irrelevant. Anyway, but again, I don't need to check on our people. Check on the strong people. Check on people that need that help. Cause y'all know what somebody is actually going through. And then for the person that's going through it, you have to be honest with yourself and say, do I need the help?
Hey, Texas Southern won the men, FAMU won the women. Texas Southern coach is the SWAC men's track coach of the year, and FAMU's women's track coach is the women's track coach of the year. So,
I got a question for you. How you feel about the Michael Vick documentary on BET.
I haven't watched enough of it. I haven't watched enough of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's interesting. I also think it's a distraction. Um, and I don't know. It feels real. I don't know, like what you call it, hard knocks, like if you will. Like you got
Mm-hmm.
all this stuff going on in the middle of a season, and you're doing this. Hmm.
I mean, I don't know because it did. I mean, Dion did the same shit when he did his documentary with us at
Yeah,
Jackson.
yeah, but that like Barstool told us this was coming because Barstool was going to put money. I believe it was going into the university. I believe I can't remember. It was so long ago, but I
Oh,
believe
no. Fuck
Barstool
Barstool.
was supposed to, put money in the university or whatever, right? Um, so I believe that was part of it. But I think it's good for the university because I hate to use the E word, but it gives the university exposure and it exposes a core NFL fan base who aren't familiar with Norfolk State. They're now getting familiar with Norfolk State. So it's helpful that way. But from me, like HBCU football fan, I want
Mm-hmm.
to see him, stack some wins. When he stacks some wins, then I can.
I think he'll get some wins next season. I have faith that he can get some wins next season, but I don't think he wants to go through this season again like he did for this coming up season like he did last season. And I don't think he wants his only win to be a Division II team. He wants a Division I win.
Hey, before I get out of here, I want to bring up one thing because I see a lot of comments, and I'll make sure I say it like this: the requirements to coach at a private university is very similar of that to coach at a public university.
Mm.
And if you have a problem with, I'm gonna use the term getting credentialed to coach at a public university, you're probably gonna have a problem getting credentialed at a private institution in that same state. I'm gonna say it that way for those who follow me know what I'm talking about and how I'm talking about it. But the reason certain coaches haven't been announced is because when how can I say this? People have to do their due diligence before they just let anybody coach people kids. There are all kind of implications on that stuff. And in this day and age, people like to sue. So any and everybody just can't coach a college team. And I mean assistant coach. And everybody ain't doing that. So I see statements and until that person does get a job, we'll talk about it. But I picked up the phone to make sure I wasn't crazy and called some people and said, hey, why this ain't happen? And they was like, because just because we ain't a state school don't mean we don't do the same stuff state schools do. So I was like, cool. That makes sense to me.
Is it involves a certain
Yep.
former running back?
Yeah. No, we ain't got to say no more. Yep.
Is he trying to head down to the HOA?
That's what it looked like.
Well, I thought he would have went to the highs of the sevens.
I'll say this. The same issues are being brought up. And had enough time elapsed, let's say 7 years, I don't think this will be an issue. But because it hasn't been 7 years, it is an issue. And people making assumptions that, oh, that HOA can do whatever they want to do, however they want to do. That ain't it. They do have a academic university president. That's the one thing about that school down there. They're going to always have an academic as the university president. The athletics is never going to run that school, ever. So,
But
and you know they announce their coaches quick.
But
they don't take no time to announce their coaches.
But they benefit off of the athletics, though.
Of course, they benefit from it, but the athletics is never going to be in charge of who get to work well. Remember, the athletics let them run amok, and they ended up on probation 3 times. They won't be on probation again. After that last flirt with the death penalty, they was the last one to flirt with the death penalty before they got rid of it. So,
no, University of Alabama.
Oh, that's right. Well, hold on. The University of Alabama.
Yeah,
was before them. What happened was Miami situation because of the dude going to prison. That investigation lasted longer because Nevin Shapiro went to prison.
I'm talking about in the 90s. But then remember the other school that down there was on the death penalty was Penn State.
You know what? I don't know if they was gonna give. I think they was gonna give Penn State a pass.
No, they wasn't.
Listen, they gave that man his wins back and didn't give Bobby his wins back. Bobby's supposed to be the winningest coach. They did not give Bobby Bowden his wins back over a tutoring scandal. You got coaches touching people's kids, and Bobby lose his wins over a tutoring scandal. Make it make sense.
That's what I'm saying. Because if the way the NCAA was getting on Penn State with Sandusky, they were damn near, they were going to put them on the death penalty. Like that's how it was. And they figured once, and you know the reason why they really didn't do that though, because once Joe Paterno passed away, you fired Joe Paterno in within what, a week or two, he dies.
Yeah.
They was like, well, our problems are is over and done with. The man that you see, the man that you really wanted to get, you got him. You got the man that you want. You really wanted Joe Paterno. You really want Joe Pa. Why? Because he's the head of the whole program.
What?
It's the same thing with Art Brown. With Baylor, they remember they got him. The same thing with back in the 90s with Alabama. They ended up getting Gene Stallings caught up. And that's how they ended up in that foolishness with the Mike Price situation, and then the hiring Mike Shula. So
I cannot believe. Do you know the New York Knicks had a 15-point lead at one point in the fourth quarter?
I mean, it's the NBA. Anything can happen now.
They only up by 2, by 3.
It's the NBA. Anything can happen now.
Yeah, Carl Anthony Towns keeps shooting threes.
Carl Anthony Towns need to. I'm gonna be honest with you.
He's soft. You can say it. He's soft.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I agree with what Charles Barkley said. He said, if I got a little person on me, I am not about to try to shoot no 3 over this little dude. I'm about to kill this dude in the post all day, every day. 7 days a week and twice on Sunday.
And as physical as this game is, nobody ain't had no. It should have been 3 fights in this game. And the New York Knicks should have started every one of them. They getting slapped in the face, pushed around. And my point guard is shooting post-up fadeaways. Like, what's happening?
Duke beats Michigan yesterday. That was a good one.
I did not see that game.
That was a good game right there. It was a close one, too.
I did see the South Carolina game today.
I'm going to tell you this. I think Cam Boozer is better than his daddy.
That's not saying much. And I don't like Carlos Boozer. I never liked Carlos Boozer. Carlos Boozer was a less talented 3-and-D guy. His son can hoop.
I think both of them can hoop, but the one that they talk about all the time, Cam.
Yeah, Cam is. Yeah, he's gonna be special. He's gonna definitely be special. But again, all that special's not gonna win nothing because Duke is Duke.
Duke is Duke.
Duke is Duke. Like, this ain't. At one point, Krzyzewski couldn't even win. He would have all these talented freshmen, and they couldn't win.
Well, Shire got all these talented. Well, he got talented freshmen. I think he can win. I don't want to see him win. I don't want to see him win. I still say people need to watch out for. I'm gonna be honest with you. People need to watch out for UConn.
Oh, I keep getting people tell me, "Oh, Florida State has won. What is it? 5 out of the last 7."
Hey, that ain't bad.
They started off 0-5 in the conference,
but
they're 7-7 now.
Hey, shit, better than being 5. Better than being 4-10.
Like, that's not the standard. We had a coach that routinely went to the second game.
Y'all coach out. I want to hear that shit. Y'all ran Leonard Hamilton out of there.
We had to. He was on text messages. We had to. We didn't have no choice.
Y'all could have left that man alone. Let him coach the damn team.
He was on text messages talking to players about payments from NIL collectives. He had to go. They still ain't settled that lawsuit.
That's why y'all in the shit that y'all in now.
Rise and Spill no longer exists, thank God. You know how I feel about them. Why are the New York Knicks down by 1?
That's why y'all in the shit that y'all in right now.
This is really happening.
So the Mavericks beat we beat Indiana today. Chris Middleton was out there hooping. Clay was out there hooping. Still ain't got Cooper Flag. We probably will be back next week or so.
His usage rate is crazy, ain't it?
His usage rate is out. His usage rate is up there.
Yeah, that's gonna he a rookie. That's gonna wear him out. Like that's why people is questioning Jason Kidd sometimes.
Well, we won't have that problem next year, next season, when Kyrie come back.
And you bet not. Otherwise, you fire the GM for no reason.
No, we had a reason to fire that motherfucker.
If you look at what's going on in LA,
we still had a reason to fire his ass.
Listen, man, I'm gonna say this. I need y'all to accept this, right? Y'all can find an average white boy anywhere. Y'all got a white boy right now with a bigger upside than the slew-foot fat boy that's in LA now. Let him go. You got something better now.
Oh, I ain't saying that. I'm just saying Nico needed to be fired. He put the team together early this season. He needed to be fired. He should have got rid of Anthony Davis from.
But here's the thing. Y'all save, what was it, $30 million on a contract extension?
Yeah. We didn't extend him. That was LA that extended him.
I know. And LA thank y'all for $30 million, but what they're about to find out when LeBron retires, Luka is not going to be able to lead y'all to the promised land. That's what they're about to find out. Luka, when people tell me Luka in the best shape of his life, you look at him, I'm like, that's the best shape of his life?
He still look fat.
Still look kind of chubby.
Well, let's say it like this. Remember, Charles Barkley was he was fat. And when he got the Phoenix, he damn near slimmed down. He lost 100 pounds.
Charles had got slim when what's the name got on him, when his vet got on him. Moses Malone got on him. He had started getting slim now. But again, he wasn't playing point guard. This dude is playing point guard. He's slew-foot, he's slow. And the current NBA rules make him effective. You got a kid right now that could probably play.
I don't think
in any era.
But he's not slow.
He has a change of pace. That's what makes him deadly.
He's not. That's what I'm saying. But he's not slow though. He's not slow. He can change. He can change his pace. He can change his pace of play. But he is not slow. You put him in a pick and roll situation. Oh, he eating.
What is going? We can't be. Oh God. Hey, I gotta get out of here because that blonde haired lady. Yeah, that blonde haired lady gotta get up for work in the morning. But we'll definitely be on Tuesday.
Oh yeah, I'll be on Tuesday. I got to set my thing up for Tuesday afternoon for Don Thornton.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna watch that. Yeah, I'm gonna watch that. Make sure you tell her that, we love her. So, all right, man, I'm out of here.
All right. All right, y'all. Well, I'm about to be out of here too. So make sure y'all tune in Tuesday afternoon, 3:00. I have Coach Don Thornton of Alabama A&M on the docket. And we'll talk about what's heading down the line and get into tournament talk. And and how she's maximizing her success with the program. But always, y'all be blessed, y'all be safe, hug your loved ones, and love on your loved ones. Check on your strong friends, and check on everybody that you know that needs the help as far as mentally. But crash out on your kids and beat them out the penitentiary, just like my man Jamal always say. Punch a Nazi and fuck Donald Trump. I am Doc Holliday. We'll be back on here on Tuesday as always. Y'all be easy, baby. Peace.